All right, welcome to Let Freedom Ring. Tonight, obviously, still not back in the studio. COVID-19 is obviously, kind of ruining all our fun. But that's okay because we're still going to continue the show to keep rolling. Tonight, I have two guests. I have John Nagle and I have Bobby Beaulieu. And welcome on the show, guys.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for having me. I'm also your first two-time guest on the show.
Bobby is the first time, two-time guest. He's my emergency guest as well. A couple of weeks ago, Jesse Martineau could not make it onto the show. We had planned this a little ways back. So this first segment of the show is only going to really be directed towards Nagle because we already kind of know Bobby's situation.
Put me on the way, huh?
Yeah. So, John, a couple of get to know you questions. Where are you from, and where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Lowell, Mass, but I grew up in Hudson, New Hampshire. Went to Alvern High School. Oh wait, baby, let's go. Yeah, that's it. I've been around Mass and New Hampshire, bro.
All right, awesome. Now, what's one thing everybody should know about you?
I'm a hardo. Softball season, full-fledged, baby. I'm just
24/7.
Just have fun, man. That's it.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and I'm just trying to make sure, John. Bobby, can you see John? I don't see him right now.
Yeah, I can see John right now. Yeah,
all right, so maybe it's just on my end. All right. And John, what does it mean to you to be an American?
It means being a hardworking guy. And just provide for your family and everything like that. No matter how much you make, just live life to the fullest and be happy. Do things you love. You only have one life.
All right. Good answer. All right, awesome. Well, that brings us to current events. And I just want to get a little bit from both of you. How are you both doing, obviously, with everything kind of changing in life right now? Obviously, we're not in the studio right now. I would love to be in the studio with producer Justin. We're not there. How are you guys doing? How has your lives changed a little bit?
Bobby, you go first, buddy.
I've been here since March 10th, so I'm kind of already in the throes of it. So, 2 weeks ago, yeah, I thought it was changing. Now it's just like it's blurring into one day. I got into an argument yesterday with Victoria, and we thought it actually happened that day, and it was actually like a week ago. So I'm not going crazy per se, but I wish I had 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, very stressful, man. I'm an exterminator, so I'm deemed essential. So I do big accounts. I go to all these places, and some it affects my day-to-day life because some people tell me straight up, they go, "No, you're not coming in here." With the virus going on, they say, "No, you're not coming in." It's definitely a whole transitioning period because myself being experienced in the field and everything like that, it's whole new times for me day in and day out. I'm dealing with whole new situations where people the whole virus is just really messing things up now. It's crazy.
No.
Can't get people's houses. I can't get into some accounts like restaurants, like you said. They're closing down, and I try to show up, and I'm just blessed, really, at the end of the day, that I'm able to still put in a 40-hour work week and not have to tap into my own vacation and personal time off. So, it's huge. It's huge.
I think that's a good point too that you bring up, John. That the three of us are very lucky. In my position and Bobby's position, we're able to work remote. You're an essential worker. They still need you doing your job because there's just so many people that right now. I don't think we've ever seen unemployment like this ever.
No, it's crazy.
In our lifetime.
It was 4 times higher than expected today.
Yeah.
By the way.
So
look what's going down with the New Hampshire just announced earlier today that we're going on a mandatory lockdown tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow night that it starts, or however it works out.
Yeah, the stay-home order.
Stay-at-home order, yeah.
That's where it is, yeah.
So I think a lot of that, because I think there was a lot of confusion with that. You can still go to the store. You can still exercise, small groups still. I think he said, was it under 10, Bobby, I believe?
Yep. The beaches
You
are
know,
closed though. You can't go on the beach.
the beaches are
They
closed.
didn't
We're
close
not.
the mountains.
Well, we're not Florida. Florida had their beaches flooded over the last month, which is I can't believe they were doing that. Honestly.
I mean, if you
Um,
Google Florida
Doing
when
the
it's
same
not an
thing.
outbreak, what's
Yeah.
that?
California was doing the same thing out in the beaches out there too. It was people, forget your order, whatever. We're still gonna go out and have fun.
Yeah.
All that, you know.
And we all want that. We all want that. But if we're gonna get through this, we're all gonna do our part. And and here in the state of New Hampshire, it looks like we're gonna be doing that.
Right.
Um,
But I would say one thing though. I'd much rather be quarantined or stay at home in Florida where it's 80 degrees. When it snowed yesterday, it's 60 degrees today. It's gonna be 60 tomorrow, but then it's gonna get cold again. It's like, what the frick, man? At least
and
they get the sun.
that can affect like the whole virus that's going on, plus the temperature change and everything. That's gonna mess people's bodies up too. So that it's just immune. I mean, I know I've been kind of battling a cold the last few days just because of the weather. It's not I'm not puking or anything like that. It's just more so just waking up and coughing, and the body's trying to adjust to the temperature change. It's been all over the place. The snow just messed everything up.
No, I agree. And my allergies have already started to kick in. So it's one of those. We're all in a tough spot. But I think as a lot of us have said, we're all in this together right now. So hopefully everybody does their part.
Pound sand, that's for sure.
I wouldn't mind being in the house that we were in Florida the year that I went when we were in Orlando. We'd have that pool. That was a good time.
That's for a later story, man.
Yeah.
That's for a later
but honestly, I don't want to dwell on everything going with COVID-19 because I think people should be focusing. Yeah, we're stuck at home, but I think it's good to talk about other things. So let's go into pop culture. And I threw some questions together, and I think this is I pulled up two actors that I feel like were very funny at one point, very funny, and a lot of people don't find them that funny anymore. What are your guys' favorite Adam Sandler movies?
Bob, you want to go first?
Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, anything from the 90s. After that, Trainwreck. That's how I described Adam Sandler.
So my number one's Happy Gilmore all day. Doesn't matter. Whenever that's on, I always have to watch that. Kayla's probably ever since we've been together has watched it 40 times because I can't get sick of that movie. Another one is actually Airheads because there's
wow, okay, yeah, all right.
That movie's awesome. I mean, you have Kramer in there as well. It's subtle role and everything, but just the cast and just the movie in general. It's not a big Adam Sandler movie, but he's in there, so I count that definitely as one of my favorites. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I agree with both of that. I love Little Nicky. I do. I think that's an underrated. Bulletproof. Does everybody remember that with Damon Wayans as well?
Yeah, that was going chicken today for lunch. So, and it was
really
awesome, bro.
I love when he's telling him he's gonna pee on him. He's like, "That's my pee. That's worse than getting." It's okay when it's your own pee on you. I thought that was some good stuff. And Adam Sandler's a local guy. I mean, it's weird that he's a Yankees fan. Do you guys have an issue with that? I kind of do.
He's a Jets fan too.
I mean, this wasn't planned, and we're all wearing the same socks hat, so
where we stand.
Personally, New York can have him. That's how I feel. Yeah, take him. Whatever. You don't want to be one of us, then go. I don't care.
Exactly.
I agree.
Plus, his last few movies have absolutely blown. So
yeah, Spanglish. Yeah. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's got to be a decade ago.
Stop caring with
what was the one where he called the that hotline for like a sex worker or whatever, and they steal his credit card and he chased him down? Yeah, exactly. He's done a movie about that before. New York, you can have him.
Did you guys ever see Funny People at all? When he did that with Seth Rogen?
That was good. I feel like that was kind of like a biography of his life. The Funny People with Seth Rogen was in there, I believe. No, I might be wrong.
No, it was Seth Rogen. But there were some other people, and you're right. I'm blanking on some of the names here. Judd Apatow's wife there, Leslie Mann.
Yep.
Is that Leslie
I just
Mann?
feel like that was kind of like a personal biography and him kind of just writing out how he's going through a little depression stage. That's my take on that movie. It was a good movie though.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but it felt like two separate movies. Like it was so long. I don't know. You know. Bob,
Yeah.
did you have any thoughts on Funny People?
I think I saw it. I don't remember it at all. Like just
Okay.
gone.
Well, it wasn't a period that his career kind of started going. I think that was like 2009 or
It
whatever
was like the Superman roller coaster. It was going up, and boom,
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah.
It's
Just
like the stock market.
As of 3 weeks ago. See ya.
That's where we're at. That
yeah.
it is what it is, and we'll bounce back. I do believe that.
Hey, you fellas know my saying. You've known me for a little while. We will rebuild. So.
Hey, that's what we do.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely, man.
Which brings me to the next comedian who kind of, again, very popular at one time, and then just kind of felt like his career just torpedoed. Will Ferrell. What's your favorite Will Ferrell movies?
I'll let you go first.
I got to go old school. You know, Reckless. That was like a raw movie. I love it. Also, Step Brothers. But that's so cliche, you know. I mean, but it's such a great movie. Don't put your nuts on my drums.
Well, he told him not even to touch his drums. Then he took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Hey.
I would say Will Ferrell's best performance, and I think we all can agree, by far, that he's ever done, Bewitched. Yeah, Bewitched is probably his best movie he's ever done. I can't keep a straight face. I can't keep a straight face. Anchorman is.
I don't think I ever saw Bewitched. Anchorman, yeah.
Bewitched was terrible.
I think you're right with Anchorman. I posted on Facebook when Brady went to the Tampa Bay, which I don't even want to say out loud, but I was like, I'm completely miserable, San Diego. You know?
I'm in a glass case of emotion. I can't even say let's go anymore. It's softball. It's awful. I don't even talk about it. I'm ready for it, man.
I'm bummed right now, man.
We're gonna touch upon this, and I'm sure we're gonna spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, Brady did us dirty. He really did. But you know, any other Will Ferrell movies I'm missing that were really old school? Old School was great.
I mean, I'm not like a huge Will Ferrell fan, to be honest with you. But he has made some good movies. But that dude he went around. I think it was last year or something, and he played for almost every MLB team in spring training, and he showed up and did that. I thought that was cool, you know.
Yeah, he played every.
I believe he started with the A's. Am I wrong with that? Or
he might have. He went from Florida to Phoenix, so he was all over the place and played every position, including the manager. He pitched. I'd shoot middle.
Pitching's open.
But yeah, no, good stuff, guys. That kind of brings us to
whack.
Could you imagine blowing middle on Will Ferrell? How would he even react to that?
He wouldn't.
No,
he wouldn't.
That brings us kind of something I'm trying to ask people, because obviously a lot of people are stuck inside right now and they're looking for things to do. I've always on this show promoted The Office and The Sopranos. Those are my two favorite TV shows. What's some TV shows that you guys could recommend to people? Why they are stuck being in more than obviously we ever have before.
You want to go first, Bobby?
Sure, yeah, I got a couple, I guess. If you have Hulu, How I Met Your Mother, you could probably skip the last season. That was terrible. Boy Meets World is on Disney Plus. If you want to go back to the 90s,
old school there.
Tiger Man, which I haven't watched yet. I just seen the memes. I'm waiting until I'm desperate to have to just sit down and binge watch something. That's on Netflix. Yeah, I mean The Wire. If you want to get into that on HBO.
Watching that, I only have a couple episodes, but that's a good show, The Wire. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the Baltimore cop show, right?
Yeah, that was on HBO. Right after it came out, right in the middle of the Oz and Sopranos.
The heyday.
One of the most top rated series of all time.
Oh, good.
I just got into Seinfeld too. I mean, I remembered it, but now I'm kind of going back and watching it.
Oh,
It never gets old.
oh, I was gonna stand up and walk away. I'm trying to find. I have a big picture of Kramer because that's my boy right there. I love Seinfeld, man. Love it. Can't
Yeah, I
even
mean,
giddy up.
now Nagel, are you into Curb Your Enthusiasm at all?
I haven't. I've heard good things about it. I just haven't. I haven't really spent the time to watch it. Nor if I've tried, I've always fallen asleep in the
yeah.
middle of it. I mean, one of my favorite shows I got into. My father showed me. It was Ray Donovan.
I've
Um,
heard good
that
things.
show is
Yeah.
awesome. It really is. Just the whole family aspect and the things that this guy does is wild because he's basically a hitman for celebrities and when things go wrong in their life, he goes and quiets things down.
Jeez.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Takes
it's
them
crazy.
out.
It's
How
definitely a crazy show. What's up, bub?
how many seasons is that still going or?
It's still going now. I stopped watching it at season 6, and I think they're on their 8th. I'm gonna wait for it to finish off, and then I'm gonna rewatch the season. I like to binge watch stuff and get the full effect.
No, I'm with you on that.
Another good one that me and Kayla were watching. That was I forgot the name of it. Damn it, I forgot. I'm sorry. I
That's
just
all right.
all right.
If it comes back, just shout it out.
So breaking
Yeah.
news, Kayla, it's not important to him. Just remember that.
Thanks, bro. Put me on the spot.
That's all he needs right now, Bobby.
Yeah, man.
All right. No. Good. Definitely.
Ray Donovan's a recommendation though. If anyone hasn't watched it, that's a great show. Great show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and probably with some of this downtime. I mean, when I have downtime, I watch The Sopranos, but maybe it's time for me to come out of my shell a little bit and and watch
Like the
something else.
Sopranos, man, you'll love Ray Donovan.
All right.
It's kind of that like mafia side of things. It brings over a crazy story, and this guy's ruthless.
All right. I'll have to check it out.
Off topic
Definitely.
though, Dan. Real quick though, are podcasts taking a hit from this? We're all talking about TV shows, and no one's listening to podcasts.
Well, this isn't a podcast. This is actually this is
No,
a
not us,
YouTube
not
show.
us, Dan. We're a YouTube show.
No.
We're face to face. So I'm talking about these podcasts on these apps that everyone's.
I mean,
I don't listen to them anymore because I'm not driving to work.
I don't-
And now that I'm thinking about it, another one of my favorite TV shows. I don't know if you guys have watched it, Spartacus.
Oh yeah, on
heard
Stars.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some questionable moments and some gay moments per se that were there, but through and through that story, I when I first watched that with my stepfather, man, I cried on the final episode just because of how deep it hit. It was crazy.
Yeah, and
Can I access it
that person
through-
passed away too. The main actor from that movie.
The main actor, yeah,
He's-
Andy Whitfield, he died at like 24 or 25 years old of cancer.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was Spartacus in the
jeez.
first 2 seasons, and then they got the new guy in, which he did a good job, but nah,
You're never as good as the first.
it
Now-
wasn't it wasn't Andy,
I'll have to give that a watch. Is that it's on HBO or
That's Stars.
Netflix. I'm pretty
Stars? Okay.
On Netflix too now.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. It was for a while. It might be on Stars. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Now, Bobby, it's funny that you brought up Netflix because Nagle did a post talking about this being a podcast, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he goes, "Oh, typical thing of someone under 35 or something." I'm 35 on the dot. I said, "Well, not a podcast. It's actually local access television." But anyways,
Somebody that commented on my post.
yeah, about just saying a lot of people are doing podcasts right now, but it depends on if you don't have to listen to them if you don't want to.
Yeah, pretty much choice, man. As far as I'm concerned, it's been a minute since we've all sat down and had a conversation. We're the biggest trolls on each other on Facebook.
I know.
So.
Just slaughter each other on Facebook, but we're
All
fine.
Forward to it, man. Day in and day out. It's been a while though. We haven't gone off on each other in a bit. I got
No, I know. It's
because
It's because softball season brings it out, and maybe hopefully we're on that faster than we are now. We'll have to see.
Well,
Yeah.
if softball season happens.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that. Um,
Hopefully Benny comes back. Benny, you're gonna watch this podcast.
oh, he'll
If it
watch.
doesn't happen, you're coming back.
Yeah, that means Benny, we're waiting for you in 2021. And
Yeah,
then
it means he has
Chris
to.
Derby, by the way, work it out. You have to play Tuesday and Thursday. Let's figure
I
this out.
mean, if we have to harass them, we will. We'll have to see how that goes. But
Will this help us get Louis and Chris to go with us up to Labor Day to Canada? Does this help us? Does it help
I
the
don't
cause?
know. I don't know.
I want to go.
Right now we can't
No,
cross
wait,
the Canadian border. None of us can cross it right now.
Yeah,
Hopefully by
but
September.
I'm not. Actually, I'm not gonna say this. Never mind. I'm gonna.
Nagle, do you have your well? All I'm gonna say is, do you have your passport?
Not yet.
All right.
That's one of my biggest goals, though.
Get that, and then hopefully all this blows over, and we are beating the Canadians in softball because I know we can.
Yeah, because I'm currently 0-5 against people from Quebec.
I don't even want to talk about that because there's no way.
I'm gonna go up on a shirt. I'm gonna get a softball shirt made saying "Blame Canada."
Put a picture of Shawn Michaels with the
I'm gonna
Canadian
have
flag up his
Cartman
nose
in
next time we
back.
go up there.
Well, Bobby, when we go to Quebec, they don't care for the Canadian flag. Quebec is like their own thing, which you can see the Quebec flag in the background here. They're not big fans of Canada themselves, so they might even take offense to that. But I would like to beat them. So
Yeah.
but that brings me to something I haven't talked about on the show at all yet, and it's something I should. What's your guys' favorite music to listen to? Something that should be kind of discussed on here.
My favorite band is Primus.
Okay.
Just because that Les Claypool, man, it's not just the band itself. It's just more so the musician. The guy just does so much with music, bro. He's insane. I mean, he's a great musician, but then my favorite band to see live. I mean, I've seen Rammstein. They originally got kicked out of America. I want to say it was like 1999 or something. In Worcester, they got arrested in Worcester, and I saw them on their second show back, and they were in Worcester. And the only thing the guy said in American was, "Hopefully we don't get arrested." Arrested. It was insane. I was second row to it, and it was just fire everywhere.
They were the guys that were like, du hast.
Yeah,
right?
du hast.
Yeah, du hast.
Yeah,
bitch.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's
crazy, man. But then there's like it's just music to me. I'm all about the rock scene and all that. Anyone really who can play actual music and it's not computerized and synthesized and junk. I'm not a big country guy, but that's at least raw music that these people are making, and I can respect that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, just the computerized stuff. So don't get me wrong. Now there's some very good EDM or techno artists that are out there, and they can jam on those on the synthesizers or the lap, like whatever they do. They can jam, but once you start getting into the rap music nowadays and stuff, in my opinion, it's garbage.
What'd you think of T-Pain back in the day? That's about 10 years now, maybe more.
I garbage. Garbage.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'll tell you the three words that killed rap music for me. I'm an old school rap fan, like Tupac, Biggie, NWA.
I'm with you.
The good raw stuff, Big L,
Exhibit.
Big L.
Yeah, even, it sounds so cliche because I'm a rock fan too, but even like the old school Limp Bizkit stuff and Rage Against the Machine, because they mixed and matched. They did the threshold of doing rock music with rap. Mm-hmm. Rage Against the Machine, Zach De La Roche, the lead singer for that band, he's a rapper through and through, and that's why Rage Against the Machine actually ended up folding, was because he wanted to go off and do more so rap style music.
That's one of the best bands. I think it's hard to really debate. I can't say that growing up I was like a diehard Rage fan, but if you really listen to their music, that has to be one of the best bands that's ever existed. Ever.
Man is awesome, but they just repeat themselves essentially. Like their message just repeats itself.
Killing in the Name of, though, you got to get jacked up to that.
That's a great song. That's really, at the end of the day, it's a great song.
I listen to that song before every game that we play softball.
Oh, really?
You
Yeah.
bummed out because that's one of my my bucket list bands I need to see live. I've been to a lot of concerts and everything. I've never seen, like Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I've seen Chili Peppers in 2000. Believe it or not.
Me and Caleb were supposed to go to a festival in May out in Ohio, and it was a 3-day festival. Red Hot Chili Peppers were Friday, Slipknot was Saturday, and Tool was Sunday.
Wow.
And like you had some kick-ass bands in between there
That's
too.
a pretty crazy show.
Sublime was going to be there. Like there was just a whole bunch of bands, and of course because of what's going on, it got canceled.
It's ruining everything. I mean,
You have to go back to work those days.
Yeah. Like I don't want to. Like I'm trying to. It's hard. It's hard to not talk about COVID-19. It's ruining everything that we want to do. But Bobby, what's some of your favorite music that you enjoy?
Well, my favorite band of all time is Third Eye Blind. Always has been.
Okay.
Anytime I have a chance to go see them, I'll go see them. They actually were supposed to play during this in March, and they got pushed out. And Eric Church is another one that I'll always, anytime it's on, I'll listen to. I listen to those two almost all the time at work. And then today, it's funny that you mentioned it, Nagle, is I listened to the greatest hits of Limp Bizkit at work today.
There you go. Hell
Limp Bizkit!
Someone posted a thing about saying if you could pick a song to define my personality, what would it be? And I was like, Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
Just one of those days.
I think that's how we all feel right now, honestly. Yeah. No, good answers, guys. I agree with the Third Eye Blind's one of my favorites. Sublime is my all-time favorite band. I go to see Badfish with Jared almost every year in
That's
Hampton
a good
Beach.
cover band. That's about as close as you're gonna get, man.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
We saw them.
You guys ever been a Revolution?
No.
No. So that's a good band. Check them out. It's REBELUTION. Revolution.
Write that down. I have a full pen and everything.
See, I don't have a pen on me. Yeah. The host should have a pen. I don't know what I did with it.
Good.
But also, I love rap. As a lot of the rappers that you named, Nagle, I love too. I do like country music as well. I pretty much love it all. But if you said you could only listen to one band for the rest of your life, it would probably be Sublime, maybe Dispatch as a number 2. Right pick. But yeah. So sticking on pop culture, here's
my 2 for that. If you had to shut off all bands, my 2 would be probably Primus and Tool. Probably Primus.
Tool is something I got to give more of a chance to because I hear so many good things about Tool. I've just never listened to them.
Their live show's incredible.
I mean, I've seen Dispatch 1,000 times, Dan. You know that. I go almost every year.
Yeah, I've seen him once, but I saw him in Madison Square Garden.
I saw him in Madison Square Garden as well.
You were there. You weren't there that weekend.
I didn't go that one. Me and Victoria went. Funny story.
I went
not to
from
get too out of the
Zimbabwe.
rails. Me and Victoria were only dating for a few months, and she bought these tickets with like a 6-month window. Like, okay, she bought them in January, but the concert wasn't until July. I was like, oh well, we're going all in, man. We're going all in.
Nice.
Worth it. It's very much worth it.
No, it's a great band.
Well, I was gonna say Victoria's a great person too. So I was saying that was worth it.
I'll check them out. I'll give them a listen too.
Bobby's desperately trying to get brownie points with his girlfriend.
No, I'm not desperate.
Nagle, maybe you should try with Kayla and get extra for your fiance. We'll play this back for them, guys. Sticking on pop culture, this is sort of pop culture. It's sort of not. It's kind of silly. Maura McCabe asks, will the real Mayor McCheese stand up? Maura, it's none of us. And Mayor McCheese essentially is
It's
troll.
We all know it's John Nagle.
I don't think John. John, do you know enough about independent pro wrestling to be Mayor McCheese? Essentially, this guy, whoever it is, it could be multiple people. We don't know. They have a Twitter and Facebook account where they essentially just crap on independent wrestlers in the area without exposing who they really are. And me and Bobby and you as well, we've made some jokes out of it. I don't care who Mayor McCheese is. I'm pretty much, if I got a problem with you or I want to say something to you, I say it to your face. I don't hide behind anything. Obviously, this person chooses to do that.
Well, you guys accused me of that, like being the nerd.
Of course.
Yeah, I know you're just messing with me, but I started
Yeah.
doing the Goldberg troll on the Nerds of Wrestling.
Oh, I love
I
it.
get people rallied up on that one, man. It's hilarious.
John, I love the Goldberg trolling because people actually do really lose their minds over it.
I know. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, I earned the pop, bro.
Listen, I love wrestling as much as the next guy, but when you're a grown ass man, grow up. Yeah, I wasn't, like, you really gonna get that mad about it? What do you think,
Right.
People
Bobby?
knew though. Hey,
I think people are ridiculous. I mean, Goldberg is a bigger draw, regardless of what you say.
Rating spike.
Than
the GOAT is
Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
Bring
He's
on
great.
anybody. He's here. Let's go.
The streak.
I'd rather watch Spear versus Spear than
How
the other
does
one.
it feel?
Well, I'll tell you, I wasn't sold on the Goldberg Reigns thing, but I kind of am now.
Mark is not gonna boo him.
Well, they can't boo him, but like, I don't think it needed the title. But obviously, Reigns is the next champion or whatever. So whatever, it's fine by me. But
Dude,
I think it's better with the title.
man.
Yeah, it's better to tell. Like, it's nostalgia. It gets people who weren't into wrestling for a lot of time because Goldberg had been gone. They see Goldberg as the belt. They come back and they watch it. I mean, now that we're all stuck inside, everyone was going to watch it anyways. But
I can't wait.
It's a big thing.
What are they doing with WrestleMania? I don't know.
They're actually probably taping it as we speak.
Yeah,
because
Really?
Orlando's about to go into a shutdown. They have their performance center. Their backs are against the wall right now.
Yep, and it's going to be on ESPN3 and not ESPN3, ESPN Plus, the network and whatnot. And they're offering everyone the free network for the month of April, so anyone, anywhere could watch WrestleMania, even though it's technically taped.
Wow, think about how much money the WWE's losing on that.
A lot.
A ton, man. A lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's great for them, right? I mean, because it gets you into the network, it gets you to pay attention to it, and it's also kind of good PR. Like, they're not total jerks and hiding stuff.
They're trying their best to continue to entertain when no one else really can do it. They're definitely losing money. I mean, Bobby has the WrestleMania Cup. We went last year.
We did. We went to the last WrestleMania ever having people.
Yeah, I don't even know how much money I dropped last year.
I bought it. Was that the night you were having a nightmare with Uber or something? You were telling me, Bobby.
No, I decided to drive in, so I
Bobby drove
right in.
Oh, I thought somebody I knew went there. Then they said that Uber was an absolute nightmare.
It was. No, they couldn't leave. They couldn't leave, Nagle. Like we were lucky that he drove, because people weren't able to get out of there.
Right. People were still trying to get out at 5:00 in the morning the next day.
I've actually been up in East Rutherford. That's where you guys saw them, right? Was where the Giants football. Yep. Yeah, when I was younger, my dad somehow, when he used to always take me on vacations and stuff like that, and he somehow finagled his way up to get into the top office. And I was looking at the Giants Super Bowl trophies, like face to face, and then we got kicked out after, like shortly. They figured out that he was BSing, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, only thing I can say about New Jersey I didn't like, we went to Rite Aid. There wasn't enough parking spaces for everybody.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I never seen anything like that.
And it's a armpit up there. So.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of New Jersey.
Yep.
Well, you just lost about maybe like one New Jersey fan from your podcast.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many.
Yeah, they're not watching public access in Merrimack.
Yeah. Hey, if they do, that brings us to sports. Now, Ryan O'Sullivan. Hope I'm saying that right. Ryan O'Sullivan. Thoughts on the Rock skipping on ESPN, but overall, what's your thoughts on ESPN trying to bring back the Ocho essentially from the movie Dodgeball? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, hey, cool, whatever. It's a whole new perspective of games. Like, I actually just watched it, and they had the brat eating contest, and it was like Joey Chestnut versus Joey Chestnut versus
the GOAT.
And that little Asian guy, man, I just mowing down full size brats, dude. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Well, Chestnut surpassed him over the years. It used to be Kobayashi was the guy. Yeah,
Kobayashi's the GOAT. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. He
That
stopped
guy,
doing the hot dog contest because you had to be an amateur.
huh?
Yeah.
Kobayashi
You
doesn't
be an
do.
amateur for it?
Yeah, there's a certain requirement that he doesn't do it anymore.
Well, then Chestnut needs to go too. He's not an amateur.
Yeah, but I heard he basically is blocked up for like 3 or 4 days after eating that many hot dogs.
I'm not trying to be gross, but imagine like the stool sample that comes out, 12 hours later.
You ever seen that South Park episode when Randy eats a bunch of Chinese food and whatnot to like try to make the biggest poop? That's what I think of.
Well,
That's exactly what happens.
That's filthy.
I'll tell you a story.
Filthy.
When I was in college, our senior year of spring fling, Bobby, you know McVicker, Nagle doesn't, but my college roommate Scott McVicker was on a mission to win the hot dog eating contest. And he was training days before it happened. He was watching Varsity Blues every single day because that was the movie that got him jacked up.
Oh yeah.
So the Friday before, he's like, I'm not gonna party. I'm gonna go do the hot dog eating contest. 9:30. He's pounding beers. It's spring fling weekend.
Probably drink them back too.
Oh, he was putting them back, and then he went to the hot dog eating contest, and this girl was like unbelievable. He didn't even know what to do. He ends up not even placing in the whole thing, and on the whole walk back to our apartment, he was just throwing up uncontrollably. It was, and the funny thing was that he trained for it. It's kind of funny.
People can train that. That's insane.
Oh, he was making hot dogs. He was watching Varsity Blues, and I don't know.
Varsity Blues, man. That's a movie that's something else, definitely.
I love that. I do love that movie.
Me too. Me too.
All right, that brings us to our next question from our good friend Jesse DeLea, Uncle Jesse. Everybody's a big fan of Jesse, but he's excited. Tom Brady has left the AFC East, so now his question is: are the Buffalo Bills the best team in the AFC East? I say no.
I say the same thing, man. I mean, the Patriots are the kings until they're dethroned. Doesn't matter who's in and out of there, man. Don't get me wrong, Buffalo, they have a good team all around. Josh Allen's a real deal. They just picked up Stephon Diggs from Minnesota, so I mean they have some good talent out there. Their stock's definitely up, but until the Kings are dethroned, I no.
I like that answer.
Yeah, and injuries play into it. And if you haven't noticed, and that's something that no one's paying attention to, the Patriots are rebuilding a defense to try to help Stidham because I love Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. He's awesome. The offense stunk, even with him throwing the ball. So is it going to fall off? But what I'm saying is that does it matter? Like if you have someone else who's just as accurate throwing the ball and they're going to drop the passes, the offense stinks. It's going to continue to stink. But if you're a good enough defense, you might be able to overcome that. The Bills right now, yes, on paper, are probably the best team in the AFC East.
Of course.
But that means nothing in, what are we, March right now? And also on top of that, are they even going to play football next year? They're also coming back in the middle of the second wave of the outbreak. So honestly,
what happens there if we don't play football this year? Like players' contracts and stuff because they didn't live up to it. Does that still carry on?
I don't know.
I think
it's the same issue in the NHL.
Have to fill their contract.
I think the NFL will happen. I think if they can start, they may end up starting like October. I still think it happens.
But that's the beginning of the second wave. That's the problem. Like they might start on time in September, but then have to stop again.
Yeah, because there's definitely going to be more repercussions from this bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we. You know what the thing is? We just don't know. So I'm gonna live in this bubble that says the NFL is going to happen, and in that bubble, I still think the Patriots are the number one team until, like John said, you knock them off.
Mm-hmm. And I also went to the draft. If you didn't notice, the Patriots
they're not the number one team in the NFL. Did I?
No, I'm sorry. The AFC East. I'm sorry.
I meant the number one team in the NFL.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That'd be to the Chiefs in my opinion.
I think the
No,
Chiefs.
you're right.
I think the Chiefs repeat regardless of what
Yeah,
happens.
Mahomes is the next Brady.
Yeah, I can say this finally openly because Brady's not a Patriot. I don't have to overly protect Tom Brady. The Chiefs are one of the best teams in the NFL. They're gonna be the best team in the NFL next year. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes, it's great. I mean, I don't hate
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, and I don't have to hate Patrick Mahomes anymore because the Patriots aren't up there where they're gonna have to really fight the
No.
Chiefs.
And I understand what you're saying. It definitely you want to hate Patrick Mahomes, but you have to respect the talent, man. And he's such
Right.
a good guy. He's not an asshole or anything like that.
No.
He's like very well conducted, and he loves the game. You know, you can tell he's a really genuine dude. As of now, I mean,
His
he's a young
girlfriend's annoying. We can do
Yeah,
without her.
well,
Yeah, but what is
let's
she?
the
She's
talk.
like what, 20
Whatever.
years old? I'd be raging too. You know, her boyfriend's win the Super Bowl. What do you think? How she's gonna act?
Yeah,
No,
well,
fair enough.
well,
I mean,
I see Patrick Mahomes as long as he stays healthy, and in all honesty, we were so pampered with Tom Brady. You have to see another franchise succeed. You know that all
Yeah.
good things come to an end, and now New England sports, I unfortunately see on the downfall.
as long as
Well,
New York
Decades of
doesn't come
greatness,
up,
though,
I
man.
could care less if we start to fail. As long as New York doesn't have the 20-year span that we had, I couldn't care less about anything else in sports.
Hey, what do you
Well,
say about the chickens? Right, that's how we feel about New York.
I feel about
we're
the
not going to
Pickens.
talk about that team. Um,
Sandbaggers.
what I will say is, we know what Belichick can be without Brady. When he had to go with Matt Castle, the team was still 11-5. I know that was a long time ago at this point, 12 years ago.
Yeah,
But-
but they playoffs that year. Crazy. 11-5.
But-
Still missed
but
the playoffs.
They've won 2 Super Bowls with an 11-5 record, so it really depends on what else is going on in the NFL.
Of course.
My point being, 11-5 without Brady was pretty damn good.
My only thing against that though is they were 18-1 the year before. So that proves to me that Tom Brady was a big part of 18-1, but was he the biggest part? Because they still went 11-5 the next year. So Brady added 5 more games than anything to the team before. So WAR numbers, he's great, but I don't think he was the main catalyst of the fact that they would 11-5 or were ready to go 11-5 the next year. So I think it's just not comparable. You can't compare the 2020 team to the 2008 team and say that, okay, Tom Brady's gone, we're going to go 11-5 because we have a new quarterback.
Yeah, well, my point is that Belichick is a master.
Nah, you can't. Who knows what we're in store for this year? I just still see it, the Patriots go doing like a 10-6. Maybe
I can see that.
maybe squeak out 11-5 just because
Well, it's
Belichick and the defense, bro. That stands for something.
it's 17 games now, right? They changed
No, they changed the playoffs this year. It's still 16 this year.
2021.
it. Okay. All right.
The playoffs did change, though.
2022.
So the Patriots could still make the playoffs with a losing record because the whole thing is stupid.
I don't think you need to add games, but just something I kind of added in too was Drew Brees donated $5 million to the state of Louisiana, and they're going to get 10,000 people lunches per day. What do you guys think of that, Drew Brees? I mean, I'm sure he could even donate more because I'm already hearing that criticism. But
5 million though, man. What do you mean?
you never see a player donate $5 million. It's like $1 million or something like
True.
that.
I mean, look at J.J. Watt in Houston when they had the flooding and stuff like that. He did a huge amount for that community, definitely. But like you said, it's few far and in between. You're not going to see players actually like do stuff like that. And Drew Brees, that's another guy. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. I actually, now that Brady's gone and stuff like that, I don't mind seeing Brees win one. He deserves
I'd love it. I would love to see that.
He deserves another one, definitely, in my opinion, before he goes out. I'm pretty sure he only has one.
Yeah, he only has one. He beat the Colts.
And,
He beat Manning in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, Peyton didn't deserve that second one. His defense won it, just like Tom Brady in the 13-3 game against St. Louis. The defense won him that game. Drew Brees, though, I think he definitely deserves another another Super Bowl just because all his records, man.
Right.
He's great. He's a great
He
quarterback.
is.
And the fact that the Chargers just gave up on him, they look like morons.
Right, because now Drew Brees is still playing for New Orleans, and Philip Rivers is a Colt.
Yeah, I'd rather take. Can you even compare the two? I'd rather take Drew Brees.
Can we do the same comparison though for the Patriots? Right, we cut or let Vinatieri go. He went to the Colts so we could sign Gostowski, and
That's great.
Vinatieri's still a Colt. He outlived Gostowski. Did we really have to let Vinatieri go? He was cheaper. That's really the only thing I can.
But what if Philip Rivers ever wins?
Terry has the best field goal in history, man. In the snow game against the Raiders, just to get
that was unbelievable.
Those two of them.
Like I can't pick out any Gostowski kicks where I go, oh my god, I can't believe I saw that. Other than the one where he hit the 51-yard field goal to beat the Giants in New York at one point. On that, I don't remember any like great Gostowski moments. He's the all-time franchise scorer.
Efficiency. You know him for efficiency until the end there.
Yeah, he fell off the last couple of years, but hey, he won us big games. He brought us.
He also lost his big games.
He did the extra point game and when Denver beat us.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was 17-16 or
the field goal he shanked in Super Bowl 52.
Yep. That bastard.
You know what? Get him out. I'm glad. Get him out.
He is gone. That brings us
bring him PFT.
Brings me to another question though, because John, you are the expert of trading cards. Question I threw in: what?
I just like to collect.
Well, you're more of an expert than me. I'll put it that way. What is the most expensive card right now? What are a lot of cards that people are trying to collect?
I mean, the most expensive card that's an array. It really, you can only put a price on something that somebody's willing to buy. Right now, the hot item is Zion Williamson and all basketball. Really, I like to collect cards, and I'm not a big basketball fan. I'm really not. But that's the most value that you're gonna get in your cards right now. You know, I got like this guy right now. I got this card last year for that's a Tatum rookie that I got graded. That's a 9.5. I was actually with Benny at the card show when I bought that. I got that card for $10. And now that I have it graded, and because Tatum had his sophomore slump, so his value was down. Now I could probably get rid of this for $230, $240. This guy right here too, Ja Morant. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Is that all right? Try to.
It's like halfway. You gotta. Yeah, there you go.
See the 9.5 rating. I mean, that's just value. Basketball is where it's at. And this guy right here, Zion, that's a 9.5 grade. I just sent all these out. Me and Benny sent out a bunch. But this Zion's values through the roof. It's crazy because I'm a huge. I go to like Walmart and local card shops and everything, and trying to find any basketball product right now is next to impossible unless you buy it off of eBay. Mm-hmm. And it's so expensive. One hobby box of basketball cards right now. The hot items, the Prism, and that's going for like $900 to $1,000 for a box.
Jesus.
For a box. Just
so Nagle, I'm gonna give you a hint though. Give you a little hint though. In Milford, you'll have to wait till after this blows over and the store reopens. There is like a small toy shop before you get to the Oval Circle. I think it's next to the True Value. They had so many stacks of basketball cards from like the 90s.
Yeah, that's all junk. That's all junk.
None of that works?
Sorry to cut you off, but no, you're looking for like new aged, like 2019 Luka Doncic from a couple of years ago. His rookie card, I'm pretty sure it was like 2017.
So what makes those more valuable, right? These players haven't played long enough.
But he's the next hot item, just like Zion Williamson. That's why the card values are through the roof.
So do you sell high? Sell them as you get them?
I personally like to collect. and see what happens. I do sell cards, definitely, but I like to collect and just see what happens because 20 years from now, I could be sitting here holding up a $25,000 card, and it's only worth a couple hundred right now.
Well, what about the cards from like the early '90s that you could still technically buy now and then
You could
sell?
still buy those, but the early '90s card market, man, that's garbage. There's actually I want to say it's on Netflix. There's a documentary about the early '90s cards from 1989. I think it was Ken Griffey Jr.'s rookie year. The market got flooded after that. They actually started printing more cards, thinking they were going to be worth the same value, but they actually depreciated the cards because they printed so much of them. So anything from like 1989 to 2000 is junk, base card wise.
All right, well, let's this out.
Huh?
That card's gone.
No.
It's gone.
Like,
Nagle, it's already been thrown.
light it on fire. No, but the whole thing, this documentary that I watched was the Jack of all trades, and it showed how, Ken Griffey Jr. was how about the basically the next highly touted prospect in baseball. He was the next Babe Ruth, essentially, or big name, and they mass produced his cards, and they depleted so much.
Okay.
And then throughout the '90s, it happened with every player. They just kept printing cards, and all cards lost value. So finally, somebody put a stop to it, and it was about like 2005 and 2006 when cards really started getting value again. I mean, if you have like a Tom Brady card or something like that at that time, that's obviously super valuable because it's rare. But it is. I mean, Benny has 1,000 of them.
Yeah, he's been talking about that.
He is. There are certain players from that time frame and certain cards that are definitely seeked afterwards, but as a whole, like the whole '90s card scene was garbage. Unfortunately, it sucks. It was just it's like the stock market. It crashed.
Right. So you've basically told me that I need to throw out all my cards.
I'm not now. I'm just saying like the cards are it's a stock market. Like right now with all the sports being suspended, right now is the time to invest into sports cards because the values are low. Once they start playing again and you scoop up some rookie cards, get them graded, your value shoots through the roof, man. It really does. I just need to learn how to sell instead of collect. That's my problem.
Understandable. It's easier to collect on things. I collect bobbleheads and action figures and stuff like that, so I totally get that. Now, we've all been playing softball together for numerous years at this point.
Of course.
I think we met John. Obviously, me and Bobby are brothers, know each other a long time. But I think we met in 2016. But out of all your softball careers, both of you, what are your favorite memories from it?
Go ahead, Robert.
There's just so many. Playing Merrimack has been a blast. If you ever have a chance, that league is amazing. I won the championship in 2018. That was awesome. And then basically playing with the Raccoons. I mean, you're wearing the jersey. Like, it's just like a great time. It's been fun. I mean, we've won 3 straight, Dan, right? 4 for the team overall.
Yeah.
And then
I've won 2.
I can't think of it. Like, other than that, I mean, playing men's has been fun. I will tell you one thing: co-ed is frustrating. Playing co-ed seems like there's a lot more.
Can be.
Ardos.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Raccoons playing Merrimack. Recommend anyone.
So. To me, like, unfortunately, we didn't actually get the build on this year. I don't know if you can read that, buddy.
I'm cut.
How does it feel?
If only that was true.
No, I'm just kidding. My favorite thing about softball, man, is just being able to um let it out, let it out on the field. Because I'm a ball player at heart. I always have been and stuff like that. And just to be able to still play at the level that I play at and we play at and stuff like that, it's awesome. Um, but really, like the most important part is just the friendships that I've built throughout the years and years of playing. You get to meet a whole bunch of people. I mean, look at us. We
Right.
would have never met if we didn't play ball and stuff. And friendships are built.
Right. Shout out to Ken Nagle, by the way. He's the one who brought
Yeah,
him into the kill
there's
crew.
there's only one legend.
Yep.
There's only one legend.
Uncle Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think everything's been kind of fun. I mean, I had a great time playing on the Kilt. I've had a great time playing on the Raccoons. I've had a great time going to Canada every year.
The Batwings too, Dan, when we played in the NHSSC.
Yeah, even
Didn't know if you know that, Nagle.
Huh?
We played squish rec ball for a long time. It wasn't even
actually
squish ball
was-
at that time.
it was never squish ball. I don't know where you're getting that from, but
It was terrible.
I do remember when we came to the league and Nagel was like, the first time Nagel texted me,
I
because we
hated
need
you
someone
guys.
for Kilt. And you know me, I'm a troll on Facebook, and I was trolling the Sunday Co-ed page, and that's what I do.
Coming.
And I was just trying to promote the team coming, and people didn't like that. Now, all the people that didn't like that like me now, but they didn't like me at the time.
I remember you were looking for a play for the church team, the God Squad, and
God Squad.
I think it was that.
No, you were on God Squad. Oh no, Ken Nagle found you.
Yeah, he goes hit up Dan because I think
Yeah.
he needs help with somebody, and I'm like, oh, is this Batwings, Dan?
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
we were that team was dead. And the funny thing, actually, talk about softball memories that I do really love. Even though we all joined the Raccoons eventually, the night that you joined, we beat Robinson that night.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
did. Yeah,
We didn't just beat them; we beat the crap out of them. It was like the Sandlot.
Yep.
It's like we literally beat the crap out of those guys.
Weren't they undefeated at that point?
short.
They were.
They were undefeated at that point. Sorry, Benny. We messed up the perfect season for that. I remember Teddy Jr. hit a giant bomb out to center, and it just died. It just went up in the air and just died. I was like, oh, well, this kid is ridiculous. Now I call him Benny Strokes.
Well, I remember I started the game with a home run as a leadoff hitter over
Strokes, my bad.
Louis Derby's head, and Brandon P. I always say Brandon P. because I don't know how to say his last name. Said, "Oh, that's all you ever do is hit home runs and leadoff spot." I go, "Yeah, we're gonna win this game. Watch this," and we did.
Off topic, what's your favorite Robinson unmasked Raccoons moment?
Probably DC throwing the bat.
With the government beers?
The government beers, probably him snapping. Finally,
He flipped.
He lost his mind, and Hollywood was like, "I can't eject him for throwing a bat at his own teammate." Even though we've won all these championships, which have been great, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
Man, Chad was just yelling at it, flipping out.
He wouldn't let him go, and then Teddy Senior walks over and goes, "Government beers," and he lost his mind.
What about you, Nagle?
My favorite Raccoons moment. I don't know. I probably figuring out that Benny did all the freaking stats like my first year playing.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I was like, what the hell does this guy do? He's insane. Like, you kidding me? Is the spreadsheets and everything? But nah, just winning my first trophy. Actually, my first championship in softball was with that team. So
yeah,
that.
For me, Dan, though,
a lot of good teams, but we always fell short, But
it's true. But for me, my favorite moment, I wasn't even actually there because I had to go save our brother Dan in San Diego.
Yeah.
No,
that was 2016 though.
So the year after, whatever. There was another reason. Oh, sorry, I was in Texas for work, and the pub challenged us to play at Greeley Park. So I missed the game, and I just saw the video of Benny stepping up and hitting that massive bomb.
Yeah, that was 2017. Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll beat him at Greeley Park. That's the worst place to play the Raccoons.
It is. Yeah. Like just to pop up.
I gotta say the best, like the craziest moment too, though, was I like Derek Chappis a lot. He's a good guy,
Good guy.
but he talks a lot. And him popping up to end game 5 with the bases loaded and standing at second base, waiting for Weston to catch that ball, going like, "Oh my god, if he drops it, we lose. If he catches it, we win."
Yep.
And it's
With
and
Weston.
chat. He was sober as a bird, I believe, and when he caught it, it was just the emotion, like, "Oh my god, we won!" Like, because
It was
Yeah.
game
that
5.
game had been back and forth, back and
That whole
forth.
series was like that.
That was the best series I'd ever been a part of. Yeah, softball is a fun thing to be a part of. I'm glad that we all
I
do it.
joined, we took over. Like, I mean,
We're dominant
I mean,
at that point.
last year, Kung Fury gave us
They did.
good little run too. I was surprised by that. They did. I know it was what did we beat them 3-1 or something, but they beat us that one, and then there
Yeah.
was a couple like squeakers.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
basically
And then
just came back
the
to us.
last game, I was actually you were at shortstop because you had the new shortstop now. I was hurt that game, and we smoked them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haskins stepped up too because he didn't want to come to the game. I remember that. And Justin was a little bit upset about not playing in one of the other games. And he showed up and he did his job. It was almost like, do your job.
He had a cold spell, but he at the end of the day, I mean, when he gets hot, he gets hot. And he kick and hit.
Yeah.
He's a good ball player.
He was in a cold spell, and then he produced. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me the year before too. I really didn't play much in that last series. The second year, Dan, that we won. I think we beat Amoskeag again in the championship.
I'm gonna step
but I
away for like
couldn't hit.
2 seconds. All right, I'll be
All
right
right.
back. That's my bad.
Well, the thing too is when you're a good team and you got a lot of good players,
Right.
things kind of happen there. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's something definitely we all enjoy.
It is funny though. While we're waiting for Nagle to get back, Dan, me and Louie are fraternity brothers, and it was just funny
I've heard that. Yeah.
So we both pledged and brothered up together, and then I really hadn't heard from him in almost a decade, almost at that point, until I started seeing him at softball. It's just weird how everything comes full circle.
No, it is.
We're all
And
connected.
I think that's kind of how things go.
Yeah.
World's pretty connected, and we've had a lot of fun playing softball. So, I'm not sure what Nagle. This next question, we're going to move on to politics. Nagle,
Sure.
I'm sure we'll be right back. Bobby, do you think that Donald Trump can unite the country in a time like this?
I don't think anyone can unite the country in a time like this. You're going to have issues no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Right? There are some states that think one way and other states that think other ways. And you're not going to have, no matter who it is, unify everyone across the board politically.
But do you think he's missed his George Bush's moment? When 9/11 happened, George Bush was able to really pull the country together.
Yeah, but
I know these are different.
Watched it with the mission accomplished moment on that.
He did later, but within those first 2 years after 9/11, he didn't, and he wasn't able to unite the country.
It's tough. I don't think any president has been able to unify since FDR, and even FDR really needed like a country to attack us to have a common enemy. It's
you guys
tough.
talk like uniting the country and stuff.
Well, yeah. So Nagle, I know that you lean more right than we do. Not that I'm more. I think we're both I think we're all kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
But do you think that Trump can unite the country?
To be honest, no, I don't. Just because on both sides are guilty, man. It's just such a separated government, man. No, I don't think that he can unite the country.
Do you think that people can?
Just because there's so many haters, I'm a Trump lover. I whatever, and your beliefs are your beliefs.
Yeah.
But there really are like true hardos out there that just can't get on the program with Trump, and the same thing with the Republicans hating the Democrats. I just don't see. I don't even see like the next president being able to fix it, just because there's such a split. You know?
Do you think though that the everyday people like us though obviously we disagree politically, but we're friends and we don't have a problem. Do you think that the everyday people, regardless of Trump or whoever is president, can kind of come together in this moment that we need to come together?
Everyday people like you and I mean, if I didn't know you through a hole in the wall, yeah. Yeah, because we got to get by and we do have to come together, but that's just such a fine line that the question's a fine line, because at the end of the day, it's just such a separation in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, I agree.
And we also don't need
The
celebrities
question
singing
that
us
you're
Imagine.
asking, like, can we unite? Hell yeah, we can. Will we unite? I don't see it.
Right.
I hope that we at least can find a middle ground in this, that we can all kind of come together and just do our part to get through it.
See, even me, I don't see it. I mean, maybe I'm a pessimist. I just
No, it's the reality of the situation, man. It's just people have their own beliefs, and with social media and propaganda on the news, it doesnn't matter where you
Doesn't
go.
help.
It's
Yeah.
all over the place. People like us and like the normal, like the average Joe, of course, we'll be fine. We're not gonna fight each other over, oh, you voted Trump or you voted it doesn't matter. You like Bernie. Cool. But there are the people out there that, I don't know. I think definitely by like 2024, there'll be a civil war, or there'll be some stuff going on. It's only going to get worse, man. Our country's unfortunately not doing well. We're so divided.
And this didn't help. And this whole thing did not help.
Oh.
I think we all though can agree though that celebrities need to back off, right? Like
Well,
they did that Imagine video. They took there was a
I
moment
did see that,
in
yeah.
Italy. There was a moment in Italy where a man came out.
Butthead.
What's that?
They need to bring back Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, that would help.
They did actually for a short period of time.
Yeah, it was
couple years
awesome.
back.
And
Yeah.
then they didn't come back.
What are you gonna say, Bobby?
But in Italy, there was a moment where a person came out and started playing. I think he was on a piano, but he was playing Imagine like to a group of people, right?
Yeah.
And he's playing into his apartment complex or whatever the town is, and everyone's singing and talking back and forth. And then some celebrities see it and go, you know what? We're gonna use this. Do you know what they need? They need celebrities right now. We need people who are making millions of dollars to take this awesome, cool moment for a second and turn it into a sing along. And it's the divide that outside of politics, money wise, we're just looking at stuff and saying they don't get it, because me, you, Nagle, we're in the shit. We're living. I have a neighbor right next to me. I have a neighbor over there. I have a neighbor across the street. Like, I have a giant complex I'm living in. We're all in the shit, and there's a lot of people who are not gonna have to deal with this crap.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I think there's gonna be a situation.
I'm in it every day with my job. Like,
yeah.
God bless. I'm very thankful for being in it, because I get to still work. But yeah, I'm in that. I mean, I'm sure you're quarantined or you're working from home, and I'm out there every day now, man. That's crazy. You see people driving around with the masks, and like if I pull over and stop and grab a Red Bull at the gas station or something,
right?
People are in masks all over the place. It's crazy times, man.
Definitely is, and hopefully we all get together and we can all get through this faster. But that's going to take me to the best segment of the show. And it's called blank versus blank. So I will give you guys a word or a person, and you got to pick one or the other. Now, with John being kind of more conservative leaning, we'll throw President one at him first. Trump or Bush?
Trump.
Okay. Bobby?
Which Bush?
Yeah.
Bush. I'm sorry. W. The one that we've kind of. We were all too young, I think, for the first Bush.
Oh, that's a tough one, because George Bush royally effed up some stuff. I would lean more Trump until after this, because Bush really screwed up.
Well, I would say that Trump hasn't got us into any wars that we never got out of. Right. So I think if he continues the way that he's going, yeah, this Corona thing sucks, but that's not really going. It's not something he really. He also
didn't deregulate a bunch of stuff that caused a market crash.
My opinion: anyone who's in a political power like that should not have social media. Other than that, he's he does a good job, man. Really, at the end of the day, I know he's an asshole, but the economy's great. It
Was.
What?
was great. Well,
I'm not blaming him for this. I'm not, because
no,
No.
I don't think that's fair.
no, but
It's
he's done
tough.
a good job, really, at the end of the day. And you got to think about it. The guy's he has nothing to lose. He's just out there trying to expose everyone, and to that,
And my issue though,
I can see the appeal for
giant
some
issue though
people.
with Bush though is that Bush deregulated a lot of things that allowed banks and other marketers, people in the market to make trades that ended up screwing the economy in 2008. And that didn't just start with Bush, that started with Clinton. But for me, Trump now hasn't done anything that stupid other than, getting in the program that kind of would have helped with the pandemic. Other than that, it's tough for me to know. But he's only had one term. George Bush had 2 terms.
It's true. True. It's hard to judge at this point. Brings us to our next one. 2 guys. One that I really, really like, as you can see.
I can't see.
Mark McGuire.
Oh, okay.
Who I modeled my whole baseball stance off of. But during the run, they chased after Roger Maris. They both were on steroids. We didn't know that at the time. But 1998,
Allegedly.
Mark McGuire or Sammy Sosa?
Big Mac, because I love the number 1 at McDonald's. Nah, I don't know. I'll take Big Mac.
I was a Sosa guy.
Yeah,
Right.
you would. You probably use a shaved bat in softball too.
Well, he was the underdog. The Cubs stunk. The Cubs fan base stunk. The whole team hadn't been to the playoffs since the 80s. They hadn't been to a World Series since 47. I felt bad. So, and St. Louis, it's a flyover state. Who cares about St. Louis?
You know, it's so disappointing, and I know it is considered an asterisk, but the steroid age of baseball, man, that was some good stuff.
It was.
It really was, because I mean, you still had your dominant pitchers, Pedro Martinez,
Greg Maddux
during that time and stuff. Dominant pitchers dominated, but it was just an enjoyable part of the game because you had these dudes who just come at Barry Bonds, man. Pete, like just people like that are missing out in the Hall of Fame. I personally think they should be like an asterisk in there as like a steroid part of it because it was a big part of the game.
I would I would just say Bud Siegel, let it happen, put him in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna they put in Tony La Russa, they put in Bobby Cox. These guys knew these things were happening, yet they get recognized.
Yeah,
enough. You knew what was going on. Put them in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully, as writers get to our age, they let them in. That's just
because I mean that you got to think about it. Like our age and stuff, that was a big part of baseball. The steroid age, unfortunately, that's what we grew up.
All the
on.
players we love aren't in, and they're not going to put them in.
But you're like 50 and you're 34.
35.
I'm just kidding.
He said you were 50, man.
50.
I'm 32 next week.
But no, that was our time.
Yeah.
Watch. And
my batting swing was Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield.
I remember Bobby doing that. Yeah.
I had the worst hitch in baseball.
He had the violent swing, man. It was crazy.
That brings us to Nagle. This is more for you because me and Bobby's answer is probably pretty straightforward. Hudson or Nashua?
Hudson.
Really? Okay.
To be fair, I would pick Hudson as well.
Over Nashua?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude. I mean, I live in a nice part of Nashua. I always have, but all in all, no. Hudson's quiet. That's where I grew up too. I mean, Alvern.
No, that's why I put it.
I'm not gonna say Nashua, man.
Back in the day, I used to go to the Blockbuster in Hudson. I wouldn't go to the one in Nashua. I would always go to the Hudson one.
Mall, bro.
Yep.
Here's a tough one for Nagle. Probably not a tough one for Bobby. Softball or disc golf?
Ooh, softball. Just because I'm a baseball player at heart, bro. Always will choose softball before disc golf. I love disc golf. That's my second favorite, but softball.
All right. I have seen the cool setup by one of the Manchester fields, and I'm blanking on which one it was, but Yeah. All right, another one for Nagle that might be tough. And I guess I could ask Bobby a question after. Monday, Wednesday softball or Tuesday, Thursday Nashua?
Monday, Wednesday softball. Where?
Really? In
No, no,
Nashua,
no, no.
the
Where?
two Nashua leagues for you, and then Bobby's going to be the Merrimack or Nashua league on those days.
Well, the first year I played with the Thunder Buddies, man, when we beat Matthews in the championship. That to me, that championship that we won
That was pretty cool.
that was better than winning with the Raccoons, just because we weren't supposed to beat Matthews.
Yeah.
That was not supposed to happen. We came together as a team. The following year, unfortunately, things didn't work out the same way, and we didn't get the same players back consistently. So to me, that first championship I won with the Buddies has meant more than the Raccoons, just because that was earned. You know, the Raccoons is kind of expected.
Yeah.
But the Buddies, that was earned. That was team chemistry, and people
I
and
went and watched most of those games. They were a good time. They
Craig
were.
Pelletier lighting off fireworks in the parking lot.
All hell broke loose. Yeah.
That was a great time, man. I was that to me that was actually like an earned championship.
Yeah.
Like I
can
said,
see that.
the Raccoons are expected to win, just like Matthews.
Yeah.
You know, just like Kung Fury, if they beat us last year, that's what kind of the same capacity as the Thunder Buddies beating Matthews.
So are you saying that the Raccoons have the killer instinct that Matthews lacks?
We'll never know until we step on the field.
Yeah, but we should not do it like mid-season, not like after the season's already over. If they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, both seasons are different because we end earlier than they do.
The question is,
if we all
though,
play.
where does Wesson go?
Up to him. It's up to him.
If you watch this, we're all three of us are looking at you right now.
Dan, by the way, mine was I do love Merrimack. I love playing the Raccoons, but there's sometimes when we play games where it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even mean if we were on the Raccoons. It's just that the competition in Merrimack is just so much different. It's just so much more.
That's I want to.
You guys divvy. You guys
have it in me anymore.
Yeah. That draft.
You guys divvy it up, which matters.
Yeah. Auto Body or Auto Sport. Sorry if I said Auto Body. Auto Sport. When I won in 2018 is one of the most fun I've ever had. We had Dustin Merrill. We had Joey V and all those other guys that just. I was on a team where it smashed. It was ridiculous. They allowed that team to happen.
Before you go to the next question, you can keep going. I do want to touch base on something, but keep going, bro.
Last questions for Nagle.
Can I touch base on something?
Yeah, I definitely can.
Me personally, if I had the choice, I would play modified softball. But there's no good leagues around anymore. You have to travel to play.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I actually just played with Luke Merrill. I was on Blad's team on an overnight tournament, and I saw Luke just humming softballs under here, and I said I missed that, just the timing and being able to step in. This dude's wild when he throws. He's definitely one of the best pitchers I've just watched. It was crazy. Modified's a fun game. I don't know if you guys have played it, but
I will eventually. You know, I've heard. You know, I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So
that BAE league is trash. That's not how modified softball is. Like modified softball is like you're playing games, 9-inning games that are 4-3, 5-2.
It's like baseball.
It's baseball. Essentially, you have a catcher wearing gear and you can steal at all times and stuff like that. It's baseball, just condensed.
Now, last question: blank versus blank. Nagle.
What?
Thunder Buddies or Raccoons?
Well, I already answered.
I know that's a tough one.
No, I mean I already answered that. The Raccoons, like I said, I'm wearing the Raccoons, but the team chemistry wise, the best team I've ever played on was that Thunder Buddies team that beat Matthews. That's tough. That's tough. I the team chemistry wise on that, just to beat a team like Maffey's, who's the powerhouse of Monday, Wednesday softball in Nashua. That team's stacked.
Yeah.
And Thunder Buddies, we had a good team too, man, but we weren't supposed to beat them. So to me, that season, just to win the championship with the Buddies was huge. Raccoons, don't get me wrong, I love that team.
All right, understandable. No, I get it. You guys really did earn that one. And I enjoyed watching those games, and it was great to see you guys beat Matthews.
And that was some of the most. That was like the best softball I've played against that team, to beat that team too.
But
me and Bobby were down at Worlds, and
Yeah, we were.
and Los was down there too. And
Yep.
Los was like, "Oh, we lost, bro." As we were sitting up in the stadium,
yeah,
we were watching. We just lost to a church team down in the stadium.
That was
there.
terrible.
Los was like, "Bro, we just lost to you guys. Damn."
That was that whole trip was a lot. It's just rough. That men's trip.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Hey, we've been down to Florida twice. The first time, Tiny Pipes, rest in peace. That was good stuff.
I'll be back. I will be back to Florida at some point. Hopefully, I'm not happy with that state right now, but I do appreciate. Yeah,
I'm Jade this year, buddy. Next year, I'm with you, bud.
Yeah, we'll take you. We could use a shortstop. But regardless, that's going to do it for this week on Let Freedom Ring. John, Bobby, I appreciate you guys coming on. This has been a lot of fun. We'll have you both back again, and everybody stay safe. And we're all going to get through this. But until next time, Let Freedom Ring.
Let Freedom Ring.